What if the person meant to save your life was the one ending it? And what if no one noticed for 16 years? The ICU never sleeps. Machines breathe for patients who can't breathe on their own. Monitors pulse through the dark. Nurses move between rooms like quiet shadows, adjusting medications, checking vitals, whispering comfort to frightened families. For most people, a hospital is the safest place you can be. But in hospital after hospital, patients who were getting better suddenly weren't. Doctors searched for explanations. Families accepted devastating news. The deaths were logged as tragic, natural, and closed. No one realized they were connected. No one even thought to look. That was the problem. Asked one, who was he? His name was Charles Cullen, born in New Jersey, 1960, served in the Navy, trained as a registered nurse. By the late 1980s, he was working in hospitals across New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Colleagues described him as quiet, capable, unremarkable, and that's exactly what made him so dangerous. To a family sitting beside a hospital bed, he was just a nurse, someone in scrubs, someone carrying medications, someone who knew what he was doing. No one questioned it. Over the years, Cullen changed jobs repeatedly. Sometimes he resigned. Sometimes there were concerns, performance issues, strange incidents that no one could quite explain. But here's where the system failed. Those concerns stayed inside hospital walls. No flags were raised, no records were shared, no connections were made. So he simply moved on and found work somewhere else. And it started all over again. Act 2, the pattern. Years later, investigators would piece together what was actually happening. Patients who weren't expected to die were dying. Rapid cardiac arrest, sudden deterioration, no obvious cause. Doctors fought to save them. Families searched for answers. Often none came. What they didn't know, what couldn't be known yet, was that many of these patients had been given medications they were never prescribed. Insulin. Administered to someone who doesn't need it, it can send blood sugar crashing into cardiac arrest. Digoxin, a heart medication. In excessive doses, fatal. No wound, no struggle, just a number on a monitor going flat. The perfect crime, in plain sight. Act 3, the break. By 2003, Cullen was working at Somerset Medical Center in New Jersey, and something finally shifted. Staff started noticing irregularities in medication dispensing records, medications being accessed with no legitimate medical reason. Small anomalies, easy to dismiss, but someone didn't dismiss them. Law enforcement got involved. Detectives began cross-referencing patient records with electronic medication logs. They interviewed staff. They pulled employment histories. And the deeper they looked, the worse it got. Unusual medical emergencies, again and again, occurring while Cullen was on duty, or shortly after he'd accessed medications. This wasn't one hospital. This wasn't one incident. This was a pattern stretching across years, across institutions, across states. Act 4, the confession. A crucial breakthrough came through a nurse named Amy Loughren. She worked alongside Cullen. She agreed to help investigators. While detectives gathered evidence, she kept talking to him, carefully, methodically, helping build the case from the inside. And eventually, Cullen talked. During interviews with law enforcement, he confessed. He said he administered lethal doses of medication to patients. Some had terminal illnesses, others didn't. Some had no medical reason to receive the drugs that stopped their hearts. He claimed at times that he was ending suffering, But investigators found no evidence any victim had asked for that, and many were nowhere near death, until he made them that way. Act 5, The Reckoning. Charles Cullen pleaded guilty to multiple murders across New Jersey and Pennsylvania. He received multiple life sentences. He will never leave prison. But the question that haunts this case, the one that still doesn't have a clean answer, is this: how many? Cullen confessed to dozens. Convictions were secured for a smaller number based on available evidence. Some estimates put the true total above 40. Others suggest it could be significantly higher. Because many victims were cremated before suspicions arose. Records were incomplete. Years had passed. The final number may never be known. Behind every statistic was a person, a parent, a spouse, a grandparent, a son, a daughter. People who walked into hospitals at the most vulnerable moments of their lives and trusted the system to protect them. For their families, that trust was shattered forever. The story of Charles Cullen isn't remembered because of him. It's remembered because of what came after. The questions it forced us to ask about accountability, about communication, about the gaps in a system designed to heal. And because somewhere in those gaps, 16 years went by. Charles Cullen is serving 18 consecutive life sentences. He remains incarcerated in New Jersey,